was fully recovered from my skin picking disorder, but something happened a few weeks back that really scared me. So if you didn't know already, I have actually hospitalized myself twice with skin picking. When I was traveling in Australia, I was working on a farm and I got a spot on the side of my face one day and I squeezed it that much that it ended up turning into an abscess and I had to get admitted to hospital to have it drained. I'll try and put some pictures up on the screen. Warning, they are a bit gory, so look away now if you don't like gore. That was a real low point in my life. That wasn't the first incident with skin picking. My skin picking started when I was 12 years old. When I developed acne at that age, that's when I started skin picking, and I have done a previous video on my whole journey with skin picking that goes into more detail. You can find that video on my YouTube channel if you go back a few videos. I now have a scar on the side of my face. It was here where the spot was. Scar doesn't look too bad. Again, I'll try and put a picture up on the screen. I have literally got scars all over my body from this disorder. They're all self-inflicted. So I've got scars on my face, on my cheeks here predominantly. Obviously they look a lot better now because like I said, I had acne when I was 12 and it has healed a lot. Like these days I barely ever get spots. I've got scars on my shoulders. I used to pick my shoulders, my back, my neck. I've got scars all over there. Like I said, you can't see them because we're on the camera, but they're white now. These scars are white, so they've faded, but literally I have got white dots all over my body. I've got them on my chest, them on my legs. I've got them like going onto my stomach area, and I've even got them on my arms as well. Literally, I've got them all over. So in Australia, that was the first time that I hospitalized myself. The second time it happened was New Year's Day 2021. We were in and out of lockdown with COVID. I developed a lump, a spot, a pimple, whatever you want to call it, on the back of my leg. And again, I squeezed it and squeezed it and squeezed it. Before I knew it, it was a boil, then it was an abscess. And on New Year's Day, I rung 111 because literally there was a big red circle. Or actually, no, it had spread down my leg. So I started off with one abscess under my bum cheek. I then got a second one, a smaller one, further down my leg. I then got a third one even further down my leg, so it was tracking down my leg. I never knew that you could get multiple abscesses and that they spread. I can't tell you how ashamed and terrified that I was that I'd done this again. And now I didn't think they were going to stop. Like, were they going to go all the way down to my ankle, these abscesses? The latest abscess, the third one, it literally looked black purple. It was hurting that much, it was causing me to limp. I rung 111 and they said they'd booked me in at A&E and I needed to get up there straight away because ultimately when you've got an abscess, it can turn into septicemia, you can get blood poisoning and you can die. When I had the abscess here, the doctor basically said to me I was so lucky because especially if you have abscesses in the head and neck area, if that poisoning gets into your blood, the first place that is going to go is up to your brain and that can kill you. Like that can be like absolutely catastrophic. I spent New Year's Day of 2021 in a hospital and I spent the first 4 days of 2021 in a hospital bed. Yeah, I cannot tell you how just devastating that was, to be honest. I just couldn't believe it had happened again and the thought in my head was, why have I done this to myself? What's wrong with me? Why am I so weird? Why? I don't know anyone else who does this to themselves. Like, why? Literally just why? So I was hooked up to a drip. I was hooked up to antibiotics for 4 days. And then I was left to go home and yeah, now I've got 3 scars down my leg. They're fading, they're not that big, but when I see them in the mirror, they are a constant reminder of what I've done to myself. And to be honest, all the scars on my body, even though they've faded now and they're white, I can still see them, and some days it is just painful. They are a painful reminder of what I've done to myself. So the last time I hospitalised myself was 2021. I promised myself it would never ever happen again. But like I said, literally 6 weeks ago, I was due to go on holiday to Prague, and I can remember it was at the weekend. I was in my boyfriend's car. We just took his daughter out to the park. I can't say that I was anxious or anything was worrying me, but I can remember I felt a spot here, and it was in a very similar place to where the last one came up that turned into an abscess. I just felt this lump, and I was just pressing it. When you've got this disorder, if you've got this disorder, you'll be able to relate to what I'm saying. You sort of go into a trance. And I can remember I was just staring out the window and I was just pressing this spot, squeezing it like this. And the only thing that I can say to describe it, because I've been thinking about this over the past few days, trying to get this disorder into words that are relatable to people. And the only thing that I can say is, when I feel a bump in my skin, my immediate reaction is to not leave it alone. The immediate thought is, I need to get this out of my skin. And you sort of justify it to yourself. You're like, I need to get this out so then it will heal. In actual fact, no, you just need to leave it alone and it will go away by itself. So my boyfriend, sometimes he gets spots. You will never catch him picking his spots. He had like a lump on his leg. I think it was in his groin. It was an ingrown hair, this big lump. And I swear to God, if that was on me, I don't know how I would resist not picking it. But he doesn't even think about picking it. He's just like, I'm gonna leave it, it'll go away. With me, there's just this urge to get rid of the lump. And before I know it, I'm squeezing it, I'm picking it. And when something doesn't come out of it, that should again be my signal that there's nothing going to come out of this, just leave it alone. It's a blind spot. But I don't. And it's like this obsession to get something out of it. But obviously, when you're doing this, whatever infection is in that spot, you are pushing it further and further into your skin, into the deeper layers of your skin. And that's when it can become an abscess. So yeah, when I got home, got out the car, I immediately went to the mirror and I was squeezing it like this. I was like, something needs to come out of this. Sometimes, to be honest, sharing this with you, I feel embarrassed about sharing it, because if you've not got the disorder, sometimes I just think this must sound disgusting, like picking your skin, trying to get stuff out of your skin, like it's gross. I think it's like the shame part of it. So I was in the mirror squeezing this spot, nothing came out of it, and before I knew it, it was quite red and inflamed. And I was like, right, go to bed. Don't touch it again. Like, we don't want the same thing happening, Gabrielle. And I felt this sense, it scared me. I was like, you're going to end up in that same situation again. You made a promise to yourself that you would never, ever end up in hospital because of skin picking, and it's going to happen again. Go to bed, and in the morning, after like 8 hours, this will have gone down, and just leave it, because you've got a holiday as well in 2 days, and you do not want to end up in hospital and then you can't go on this holiday with your sister, because we were going to Prague for my sister's birthday. So anyway, in the morning it had gone down a bit, but there was still this lump. When I got home from work that night, I went and squeezed it again. I literally just couldn't stop myself. And I know if you're watching this video and you've not got skin picking disorder, it seems very logical, like just don't touch your skin and you won't end up in hospital. Just don't do it. It's obvious. Just stop picking your skin. But I feel like when you've got this addiction to picking your skin, it's like telling an alcoholic just not to drink. The urge just comes over you, and before I know it, it's just happening. It's just this thing is taking over, and before I know it, I'm in the mirror and I'm squeezing my skin again. I'm going against all logic and sense, and I'm squeezing it in the hope that finally something will come out and it will go flat and then it will heal. But like I said, you justify it to yourself. It's like, I feel like I convince myself I'm doing a good thing. I'm like, oh, the stuff just needs to come out and then it'll go away. It needs to come out. Like, you can't leave it. It needs to come out. And that urge and that reasoning just overrules everything. And yeah, before you know it, you're in this trance-like state. You're picking your skin and you're just making it worse and worse. I wasn't going to admit this, but I just want to be honest because I really want to raise awareness about this disorder. But I actually ended up sterilizing a needle and sticking a needle in the lump to try and get the stuff out. I wasn't going to speak about that. I was going to leave that out because, again, I feel really embarrassed. Recently, I've been on this journey and I've been healing, especially since February this year. I've been implementing like journaling, meditating, breath work, and I've been feeling a lot better. I've suffered with 20 years of anxiety and depression, and this year I've really managed to turn it all around. But yeah, I'm embarrassed to talk about these things and this incident that happened because I'm like, if this is happening, Gabrielle, you've been banging on about getting better and it's the best you've ever felt, and then this has happened. But it just totally came out the blue and it totally shocked me, to be honest. I can remember one evening when this was going on and I picked it and it was really red. I felt so anxious and so out of control that I can remember I voice noted my friend, and she was the only person that I told. I was going to tell my boyfriend, but I was even ashamed to tell him because I just thought he's just going to think I'm weird. He's going to think I'm a weirdo. He's just going to say, babe, just don't pick your face. Like, seriously, just don't pick it. But this feeling, it's like a panic feeling. I said to my friend, I voice noted her, and I was like, I feel like I need to ring a helpline to stop me from picking my face. Like, I feel like someone needs to put my hands in handcuffs because I'm scared of myself right now. I'm scared that before I know it, it's just going to happen again. And oh my God, it's turned into an abscess. And oh my God, I'm going to hospital again. And I can't let that happen again. I just cannot let it happen. The friend that I told on the voice note, she's also suffered with skin picking disorder, but not to the extent that I've suffered with it, where she's hospitalised herself. It's never got to the point where she's got an abscess or anything like that. Anyway, I managed to pry myself away from the mirror when poking the spot with a needle didn't work. I was like, right, Gabrielle, this is your last chance. You need to seriously, you're going on holiday in a day. You need to seriously stop this right now. And I did. And I went to bed that night and I woke up the next morning and it had gone down quite a lot, but there was still a lump there and I was still touching it. I just can't stop touching it. And anyway, I went on holiday. I went to Prague and I carried on doing my usual routine where I do breath work and meditation. So I'm trying to do stuff to calm me down, to bring that peace into my body and cancel out this anxiety and panic. I didn't end up going to hospital. It ended up resolving by itself. To be honest, this incident, it has scared me, and when I think towards the future, I'm scared it could happen again, because what I've realised is on that day, I don't think anything triggered me mentally. I don't think I was feeling down or feeling anxious. Maybe I was, like in my subconscious or something. But I think what triggers me is feeling a lump. That is the trigger. So if I scan my skin with my fingers, if I feel a lump, that is the trigger. Because when I feel that lump, the immediate thought is I need to get that out. I need to get rid of that lump. I don't tend to get spots anymore. Like, it's very rare that I will get a spot, but obviously throughout my life, there are other lumps and bumps that are going to come up. I am going to get a pimple again. And yeah, I just feel apprehensive that this could happen again, but I just need to tell myself when I feel a bump, just to leave it. Maybe I do. If I feel like it's going to happen again, maybe I do need to confide in my boyfriend and tell him that I'm struggling with this. And maybe speaking to him will be able to calm me down. And sometimes I think if you've got a problem, my dad always says, like, sharing that problem will halve the load that's weighing down on you. So I think in future, if it happens again, I just need to share it with someone close. I'm going to conclude this video now, but I just wanted to share this incident that happened to me because, yeah, I'm on this healing journey and I have got a lot better when it comes to my 20-year anxiety and depression, I have been able to make major strides forward. And for the most part now, 90% of the time, my depression and anxiety is not derailing my life. But on this journey to healing, there's things in life that are going to crop up. So healing is not linear and you are going to have ups and downs. I think just this situation in particular just took me aback, because with the breath work and meditation, it allows me to feel calm and I feel in control. But this disorder is one part of me that still scares me, because it's the part where I feel most out of control. And it's the part where I feel that impulsive, negative thoughts in my mind can all of a sudden take over again. And before I know it, I'm acting impulsively and doing things to harm myself. Thanks for listening, guys. And if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.